services. So we have got a policy, we buy a technology but put a control there. Means if I am to take an iOS upgrade, I will not take that iOS upgrade directly on the internet. My system doesn't connect. What we do is, we download the patch and the upgrade and then test it in our CERT. We have got a CERT IF and check for any vulnerabilities existing there. After we are clear on that part, then we shove it to our system. This is one. So we control the technology by this process. Second aspect, we have got a very stringent information security policy in place, and to check the compliance of that policy, regular audits, whether routine or surprise, are conducted. Recently what Air Force has done is, because we are using a lot of systems which are not connected with the internet and which are simulators, for example, so we do a focused audit. Focused audit means, for this simulator I will do an audit and check any existing vulnerability and try to patch it up. Like somebody brought out very nicely, the ATMs are running with a Windows XP machine. So we do also have a customized software, which is having a Windows XP, because changing the system will cost a lot of money. So what we do is, we keep it away from the internet. And we do an audit, we know there is a vulnerability, and we take preventive measures to block that. This is coming, and now coming to the people part. So people are who? People are you. Between this, I give you a tip. For all of you, if you want to be very comfortable at home, do not expose your personally identifiable information, and you will lose money, or your wife or your husband will be okay. Number one. Number two, if you lose your corporate data, that is sensitive data, your company will throw you. In both ways, be careful. Personal devices are big no to store sensitive data of the organization. Don't do it, whatever you are saying. And remember one more, when you are on the internet, your machine, your laptops, your iPads, your smartphones, all are computing devices. Consider you are working with a compromised machine. If you will have this feeling, then you will not do any nonsense on that, where your data will be gone out. This is one thing. What Air Force does is, we carry out the check on personal gadget as well on the direction of our authorities. Means if you are using a machine at your home, you have to first say, I am using the smartphone, we are using this PC. So we check, are you processing any sensitive information of the organization? This is very, very important aspect. Nothing on the privacy part. They bring the machine, they themselves open it, we generally check, is there any malware existing? We tell them, sanitize the machine so that the machine cannot be used as a bot for an attack inside our organization. This is another part. And for people, we do awareness campaigns. We have got our own school, we teach people, we teach the trainer of trainers, and we have got experts who are in the school. Every guy in IF today is being converted into a cyber warrior from Air Force.
Thank you, Mr. Valsa. I think all of you should feel nice about it. There are very few people actually sleeping post lunch. Very, very few. I can count 3 persons I got in the entire office. We'll take the questions. Please get the mic there. But just before that, we have to give him a chance. Coal India former chairman, sir. So can you give us? You said that this is a learning session from you. So I've learned a lot in this 15 minutes, and before that, entire half a day. So tell us some advice. Give us some advice about vulnerability of different segments. After that, we'll take this.
I'm really not capable of giving advice, but in the last 15-20 minutes I was thinking that which other aspect of whole operations could be vulnerable. So there I thought, in fact, Air Chief Marshal can give his views on this. You see, Coal India happens to be the largest consumer of explosives. Roughly 500,000 tons per year is the amount of explosive consumption. So what always bothers us is the storage, movement, transportation, etc. of explosives. So far, we store explosives in magazines, and we operate in very vulnerable areas, very far-flung areas. There have been attacks on the magazines, physical attacks. That I know that's not a cyber issue. But still, I mean, it's a very vulnerable kind of an operation. And going forward, as the latest information that I have is, in another 1 or 2 years' time, everything will be going through ERP. So it will be based on the information system or some signal or something like that, that explosives move out, all kind of accounting of explosives will happen. At that point in time, there could be some sort of a bug in that system which may provide more explosives than what is actually being carried out. And that can find a way into the hands of terrorists. And that can create a problem. So whether we need to take cognizance of this aspect, is this a real kind of a threat that may come up at a future point in time, and the company should be advised to adopt safeguards along with the ERP, whether it can be built into the ERP or not? That is one question I was just pondering. This is one. Second aspect is, on one side, as I said, my consumer is the power sector. So if they are vulnerable, then naturally that can affect my offtake, etc., etc. Similarly, my transport is railways. Railway systems are fairly now advanced, and railway allotment of rakes, etc., are done on a real-time information basis. So if there is a problem there, if there is a park there, then railways can move a rake to a place where there is no coal. And a place where there is a lot of coal, the rake doesn't go there. Which means again, a disruption in the total supply of coal to the power stations. So these are, I think, 2 or 3 vulnerabilities that should be plugged at some point of time or the other.
Thanks. Mr. Dutt, you had your term, but still you are very brief. So, want to add anything, not from GAIL alone, but from the entire, on behalf of public sector undertakings? Is there any concern within public sector? You think certain sectors are more vulnerable? We know because the list is so 2019 vulnerabilities: aviation, retail, healthcare, education, hospitality, apart from government and other things. You want to add anything? Then we will take this question.
We should have a very strong cyber security policy within the company, and we should have a state-of-the-art technology for countering the cyber threat. And we should apply 3 type approach: technology, means best-of-the-art technology; people, we should awareness to the people of the pressure; and procedures, means we should have a best procedures like ISO or ISO 27001. This kind of procedure we should implement it, and regular audit and risk analysis. These are the major areas where we should be focused on.
I think Chidunka, you wanted to add a minute, so then after that, so please get the microphone there, please. Sir, 1 minute. Just give us a minute.
So starting from the quote where you said the organizations who are attacked, and there are organizations who don't.
There are only 2 types of organizations in the world. This is the FBI chief had said in early this century: those companies which have already been hacked and those which are going to be.
Right.
Are being hacked, and there is no.
So the important aspect for every organization is to have a good response plan in case of any hacking attempt. And second most thing is the user awareness, as Mr. Vatsa has already stressed upon. So every user or the person who's using the system should know what is the place or the number or email ID where any untoward or suspicious incident is to be reported. That's very important. Second is just sending emailers or doing some classroom training. There has to be simulations for the users just to understand how well the people take that or understand that point. So that would be one of the elements.
This gentleman, sir, you wanted to ask some question, and then after that, there is.
Firstly, I would like to mention 3 incidents on the banking sector.
Sir, if you could introduce yourself and make it very brief, sir. Make it very brief.
I want to be only brief.
Yeah.
I'm SKD. 3 times, the last time, swipe was point of sale, debit card was swiped. First time it has been told that it has not been paid. Okay, next card was given, bill was generated. Subsequent days, I find both the amount has been debited. Now, matter was reported to the point of sale, the bank, branch, nothing happened. One has to go right up to grievance sale. It has been paid, but point is, where is the problem? That I don't know. These are the some clue. It's existing, but nobody is, I'm saying, investigating how it happened.
Okay, sir, you made your point. Mr. Sen, you want to answer that? So let's not make it a personal grievance cell. We are talking about industry and all. But anyway, happy to answer this.
These are all stray cases. If there is a mistake somewhere it has happened, if you have reported, it has to be. I also do not have an answer to how it has happened. So it has to be found out. It has to be investigated and found out how twice debit has taken place. These are not very regular things. Otherwise, there would have been a hue and cry.
Sir, there is another person wanted to raise some hand. I saw some hands here. Anybody else there? Yeah, please. So I'll come to that first this method. Can you just give this first this behind? Yeah. And then you also give here. Please.
Hello. Yes.
Sir, if you can introduce yourself briefly and then ask.
Myself Baraji. Now, I am an old man. I am being discouraged to go digital. So this India is going digital, and I see that my bank accounts can be hacked.
It's a very, very important, I think it's a very important question for people from the senior citizens that hearing all these cyber security threats, as it is they have some kind of, inhibition server going digital, it's again a detrimental. Who wants to answer this, sir? You?
I can take up. See, India is in a threshold of moving to a digital age. You cannot avoid this phase. We have to, because hardly 2% of 2% was the digitalization level, whereas the advanced countries are much more ahead. So sometime or other we have to do this. Like government push has come, and lots of poor people and people who are senior citizens and people who are not aware, computer literate, they have to go digital. So some precautions you have to take. That whenever you take a ATM card or online banking, how to do it, what are the minimum precautions you must understand from the providers. How to safeguard your computer. See, there are some antivirus you must have heard about. Antivirus, if it is in a computer you implement, if it is in a mobile also you implement. This is something which many people are not doing it. Mobiles, when you take it, you do not bother to implement antivirus, but it is essential. So I recommend that it must be done.
Total, you want to add anything from a general perspective? How do we excite the senior citizen group to go digital? Because they are as it is have some kind of defensive approach, and then on top of that the cyber security question. Quickly, sir.
So my point is this: all senior citizens have got youngsters in their family. You have got your daughter, your son, your grandson and grandchild. They are quite savvy on the subject. Take their help. Because nobody can make you safe except you. Because a personalized service. It is not a service rendered by third party. You have to go to the ATM, you have to take out the money. So best is learning never stops, but one thing is very clear that there are procedures taken by the banks and the RBI that your money is safeguarded. This is a misnomer that internet banking is not safe, it is a wrong thing. Now you have got an OTP which comes to you. It is not that easy. If you are going on internet banking, if you are making any payment on eBay or an e-card or anything. But what I suggest, one more thing, generally people save their credit card details on this Amazon and Flipkart. Don't do it. Then if you require only that 3-digit or 4-digit number, which is not known, you are already giving 75% information. Don't do it. My suggestion is, gentlemen, social media is not safe. You always listen that WhatsApp is safe. Let me share with you. End-to-end WhatsApp is encrypted. But it takes a backup. When it takes a backup, it is not plain text. It will be hacked. It can be taken up by anyone. Please remember one thing. When you get an email, I hear a lot of learned people. They are all educated people. They have lost money on a lottery business. If you have not taken a lottery ticket, how can you win a lottery? I don't know. And similarly, when an email comes to you from say you know this gentleman, it will always come from a person who you know and you trust him. Don't open that attachment till the time you give him a call. I never expected an email from you. Why am I giving an email?
Thank you, sir. We take questions. So essentially, sir, you take help from your grandchildren and children, and the best part is learn yourself. As Ramakeshwar said, "Jotodin bachi, totodin shiki." I am the follow for that. Yeah. We'll come to you, sir. So, sir, we'll come to you, please. As I said, it is not a grievance forum. There is no question. There is no point in telling that OTP is hacked or not. They can't help you. Okay. So just let's not degenerate into. Quickly, sir.
Yeah, I was wondering, do we have any research, any studies done on the magnitude of the hacking industry? I mean, let's call them
Innumerable. Dozens and dozens and dozens. We are just discussing with their promoter. As I said, I am carrying some 10 research on me in my bag. Because as I said, I am not a sector expert, so I have downloaded India and overseas. We can tell you certain things and all. There are many research things, which is as current as like last week happened also.
so the so since there's a lot of research, is there? I'm sorry, I don't know, so I'm asking you. So the hackers, are they individual operators or are they conglomerates?
Sir, maybe Ajay, you want to say that? Quickly,
Sir,
and you get hold of him. He has actually he's a PhD on art, so he'll tell you more.
he can be a root character, he can be an insider, it can be a syndicate, it can be a group, it can be a state, it can be a non-state.
Sir, this gentleman, yeah, please. We come in.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is K.R. Natarajan. It's not a question, but it's an anxiety to say, talking about the sectors vulnerable. So one sector, just ISRO or satellites, that of thing. And lately, I mean, we had occasions, mostly we are successful. Sometime or other, 2-3 months ago, there was a failure also. So what is the view? And we maintain certain amount of secrecy on such thing rather than coming out. So I wish that sector, I mean, could have been included as well. Or maybe somebody in the panel could throw some light or that would be. Thank you.
Who wants to say?
See, there will be some segments and sectors who are very critical. They may not like to publish it. You know, India has already identified critical segments, the NCIIPC. So critical systems have been identified, critical installations have been identified. The government organization 13 is there, so they must be in touch. So though it is not public, they are not publishing in the media. But they must have definitely consulted ISRO if they have been attacked. So they must have contacted certain to find out who has done it and how to protect it. It is any company, as Mr. Bandyopadhyay said, there are only two segments. Either somebody has been affected or somebody is yet to know that they are affected. So everybody is affected. Okay, so that's it.
Anybody, Arnav, you wanted to ask any question? Sir, we'll take the follow-up later. Okay, thank you, sir. Arnav, I think you are the last person. Anybody else has any question? Acha. So, Arnav and then this gentleman.
Sir, I have a brief question for the BFSI sector. Whenever there are two ways of when you are addressing cybersecurity, you are also telling your customer that apart from you should not give your ATM number, ATM PIN number or anything of that sort. But you are also safeguarding them via the KYC. Now, there is also a problem like a person has to match their PAN card and everything, and that has to be uploaded into different NSD and e-governance and so many things. So in one way we are becoming consumer friendly, and in other way we are taking a very rough route for the consumer to protect them from the cybersecurity. So I think a balance. How do you measure that balance?
Sir, he is saying you are actually harassing them. He's really polite, but he's saying that farana, he's telling you.
See, this you are talking about two different things, if I may say so. When you are talking about cyber attacks, you definitely have compromised your password or a PIN or something like that, which bank never takes. So if you have compromised your password or PIN, social engineering may be one of the channels. Otherwise, there may be malware, which is the deadliest thing, which is the most dangerous threat in the world right now is advanced malware. They can behave like a human being, they can do anything. They'll come and sit in your machine and then they will see, watch you, what you are doing, how you are performing. They will catch everything and then they will start behaving like you, they will log in with your passwords. So that is another way. When you are talking about the KYC details and other things which the banks have to take from you, Banks have to take from you because of the regulatory requirements. But banks are supposed to keep that information secure. The data has to be encrypted. The critical data has to be the data at rest, we call it, have to be encrypted. So you don't have to think about the compromise of that data from the banks. That much is under secure.
Sir, President, sir, you wanted to add quickly, sir.
Just a question to.
Actually, question. Yeah. So then I can't be unfair. This this gentleman, you will have the last question. Quickly.
Okay, thank you.
We are running out of time.
Yeah, okay. Ardas here. To counter what sir, you addressed one aspect of aviation vulnerability. So another aspect, as I feel, is the ticketing system, which is not as lethal, but nonetheless critical. So has there been any incident of vulnerability?
Yes, there are. See, the time is short. There are a lot of, there is a software called IFEC, Infotech Communication System. Now the aircraft has got a Wi-Fi connectivity as well. So I have personally witnessed in Bangalore, the entire ticketing system gone for 6. And the system could not be brought in line for about 6 hours. They were ready to issue by hand, making those boarding passes. It was a bug, whether it was an attack.
Okay. You wanted to ask a question. That's the last one. After that, Mr. Bhattacharya. Quickly, very brief.
Sir, this is not my question. This incident happened to one of my friend in LNT.
What? Yeah, quickly. No personal.
In India, we have OTP system, but abroad in US and all those states, in certain banks, we don't have OTP system.
Okay.
Of the same thing which we are having here. So when he was sitting in Calcutta, his account got transacted in US. After that, it was recovered and all this thing, but he got harassed. So what is the solution?
I don't think anybody knows the solution.
You are talking about the credit card kind of a thing. In India, you get an OTP. While you are using it abroad, you don't get an OTP. It's correct. That's correct. There's nothing wrong in it.
Sir, because so these are all हमेशा होते रहते हैं. Like we just take it out over tea because we can't. We are running out of time. So this sorry sir, but what is the last question?
Yeah, I just have a question.
See, the issue is that if instead of making payment from debit or credit card, we use the pay wallets as a buffer. Pay wallets, Paytm or something like that. Does that make the thing safer?
See, pay wallets, it doesn't, there are some wallets which are good, some wallets which are not good. See, some wallets may have come up, there are so many wallets are coming up nowadays, they may be having security loopholes. Paytm is good, Paytm is very secure. And the advantage in wallet is that, as one gentleman was talking in the morning, that you don't expose your entire account to the hackers. You just take out some money and keep it in the wallet. If something compromised, only that much will go. Whereas your remaining account. So that is one advantage of using the wallets.
Okay. Mr. Lai, this session took the maximum number of questions. Even though many personal, somebody's wife is harassed by some bankers, he also did some questions. I will not reveal the person's name. So anyway, let me, I just take 1 minute to conclude this thing along. Because the subject is which segment is most vulnerable. I don't think we have got the answer. We are talking about this and all, not that I have the answer. But I'll just tell you an Obama report, Obama administration report, and this is 10-year-old in 2009. It says that in the cyberspace policy review or administration, it says threats to cyberspace pose one of the most serious economic and national security challenges of the 21st century for the United States and all our allies. So if you ask me as an illiterate person in this space, the most vulnerable segment are states, the nations. US is the biggest target. Who are the others working against US? It's all in public domain. I am not maligning anybody in China because in the export market they are competitor. Probably Iran. So this is the kind of things. Now if you talk about the incidents in recent times which are the most vulnerable, can you guess all the reports? Somebody asked how many reports are there. I have gone through tons of reports. The most vulnerable incident now, we are talking about 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Because in the past 2012 Summer Olympics in London, 2016 Rio, there are many cyber attacks. So already nations are working. And last but not the least, in India, the most vulnerable to cyber attack is the general elections. Because jokes apart, social media is the most compromised. Already the nations and the other countries which are pro-Modi and which are anti-Modi, they have already started working on it. So, in the distant future, in the next 2 years, this is the Olympic, and in extremely next few months, Indian general elections, and overall, the states, particularly the US, they are the most vulnerable pockets as far as cyber security, cyber crime, cyber attack, cyber espionage, whatever you want it. So with this, I think give them a big hand. All of us try to make it interesting. I'll give you a but I said I'll count at 3, sleeping, I will not end them.
Please use your computer in a least privileged method. Means don't work as an administrator. You own a computer, create your account. If you are attacked, the malware is existing in your system, it will not be executed because they are executable files. But if you are an administrator, it will be automatically computer system. And don't treat your phone as a smartphone. You become smarter. Don't download apps which you don't use. And when the app is there, please go to the applications and check the settings. You will find, you will be surprised. Uber wants to see your messages. Uber wants to use your microphone. Uber wants to use your camera. Why? Please go to the settings. Just deny all. What Sarah said very rightly, deny all, and then you want to use a particular functionality, use that.
Thank you. May I now request Major General S. Mukherjee, Executive Director, SENASK, to please present.